do you feel?
This is the squeakiest chair I've ever met in my life. Boy, the budget went down here since I left. Man, come on, I ain't gonna afford it. You took me out of the 50%. It's the squeaky chair. We're laughing. I wonder if the mic picks it up.
I was like, I need a fun episode. I can't keep doing this shit. I need something light and easy, and I need someone who can hold their own.
She goes for the only guest that doesn't charge anymore. Okay, Bezo, get on.
I just came from an engagement party, Mitko's brother, and I was there for an hour and 10 minutes because I had to come here. Not like I'm coming and do you a favor. Like I had to come here. And like just socializing with everybody, it's like, okay, bye guys. Like I'm exhausted.
My social battery, well, I realize I'm an extrovert for sure, but like an extrovert with a limit. Like I could work a party, but like don't ask me for 10 hours. Like I need like a 30-minute in between. But I need that reboot. So
I got no reboot. And it's all people that like I don't see often.
But that takes way more energy. Like,
because it's like, and so what are you doing here? I thought you were in Miami. And then it's like, explain the same story 9 times to 9 different people.
And like so surface level, you have to think about what you're saying. You have to, it's very stressful. You know what I realized? Never say nice to meet you. You always have to keep it with so nice to see you. Because you know, lately I've been getting absolutely destroyed with the nice to meet you. Well, we met before.
And I'm like, I'm done doing this. Even though I have a good memory.
You're phenomenal. Me? I can't even remember a story. You tell me things that I did in my own life. Like,
I do that with a lot of people.
No. By the way, you know how many people, and I get like the quizzers. I get the, do you remember me? And I'm like, well, give me a hint. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, yeah, your face rings a bell.
I feel like you're drunk half the time. Like, you have an out.
But was that the fuck?
I mean, like, you know what I mean?
And alcohol.
You're at the club.
No, but at the club, it's dark. I don't really remember. But then people pull out some, I'm your cousin. You know, I got that the other time.
Okay,
this
but
is the best of all
you,
time.
everyone's your cousin.
No, I fully got, I was at Cathcart and this kid came up to me and he's like, hey, like, remember me? I was like, he's like, we're cousins. And I was like, okay. I was like, listen, I know my cousins. Like,
you're like, listen, I go to family parties. I've never seen you.
I've never seen you before. Don't.
When people start saying cousins and it's 3rd or 4th cousins, babe,
doesn't count.
We can fuck. It's fine.
I was just gonna say. Anyways, it was one of those. I was like, relax, pedal it back, buddy. But you know when you start going, what's your last name? Who's your mom? And I was like, oh, we are. I was like, oh, we actually are.
By the way, when people do that, and your grandmother and my grandmother, they were on the same street, and like they grew up with your uncle, and so we're, I think, related.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But also, where's it gonna bring us? Like, oh, wow, your grandfather sold my grandmother a cow in
literally
fucking 21.
No, I was telling Veronica before we started how I'm in a relationship now, and when I first got into one, I was like, you were starting to get into one. I was like, fuck, Veronica, you can never just like let me have my moment, you know?
I think I've stolen your relationship moment every single time. She thinks she's ahead of me, but I'm like, just kidding.
Was it who got into a relationship? I think it was really around the same time, though.
It was identical timing, but actually you. So I'll let you have
But
this
I think you already knew you were going to date him even before I started dating my boyfriend. No?
No. It kind of all happened at the same time frame. But I still think you're first.
Okay.
Okay. You moved in first.
So that means that I get the ring first?
I think it should go by that.
Could we talk about rings for a second?
My favorite topic.
I guess.
You want to see my folder? Now that you bring that up.
Well, show us that folder.
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about, I think we spoke about this before, but it's so funny how in the beginning of a relationship, you're like, oh, I can't wait. This is what we're going to name our babies. This is the ring I want. And I feel like when you're in, you're like this.
Veronica, that span of talking about engagement rings only happens the first 2 months when it's like so not serious. After
how many kids do you want?
6 months
Boy or girl?
Very weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. At the beginning, you're like sending shit. You're like, everything's fine. Now I feel like if I send it to my boyfriend, it's like, okay, you did it at the beginning. What are you doing now? Like, now it's weird.
At the beginning, week 1, I'm like, here's my wedding folder. 6 months, you're like, hey. What do you think about like getting a ring and like you don't like it, and then like in like 5 years time, like you get a ring made that you really like?
You think I'm waiting 5 years to tell my man that I don't like the ring?
That's a good one. That's the best one I think I ever heard. Alessia waiting. She's telling him on the spot. She's there saying yes, but just so you know,
We're changing the ring.
we're changing the ring.
But also, if your man doesn't know you to get the ring right, I feel like now that lab diamonds are such a thing, it's almost like when you see a girl with a big rock, it doesn't even mean anything anymore.
I agree.
I don't know. It's like almost like you look like you have more money and your rig is worth more the smaller your rig is at this point.
A lot of people say that though. Like when they see a big rock, it's like immediately they think lab diamond.
Lab.
So I feel like, and I was actually looking at something and they were saying like, I feel like the trend in engagement rings, and maybe this is just me, but somebody was saying like, I feel like the trend in engagement rings is going to put a lot more emphasis on like craftsmanship, because like right now, like having a big diamond is so accessible that like people are going to get these really like unique, like, you know, hand like engraved rings with like unique designs. Cause I feel like just having that big rock, it doesn't mean what it used to mean anymore.
Yeah.
It's not really like a status symbol as it used to be. So like I feel like you see like a 7 carat and you go, okay, like that's like 1.2 mil realistically.
Yeah, but then lab, it's like 7K. It's so affordable.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's like I feel like now almost having that like classy smaller diamond is like, oh, you feel like.
But then
it's
I
a
also
natural
still,
diamond.
it's so hard because then I also still don't want that.
I think you just gotta get what you want. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like
Wait, would
regardless
you
of what
be
you
mad
think,
with lab?
I always like.
You go back and forth.
I go back and forth because I think about it. I'm like, okay, like it really depends what I want. Like if we're talking 4 carat, I don't even know how much diamonds cost. That's my problem. Because I look at my rings and I go, easy. It's like that's $1 million ring.
I would assume 4 carats is probably like 75K. Is my
Yeah.
voice changing, or is it just the noise in my ear that's happening from my
Your voice
infection?
changed for a second. But that was
Okay.
back to normal.
I was wondering, guys, I have an ear infection. It's like grow up
anymore.
Who gets
What are you, 6?
like grow up?
Yeah.
Guys, I went in salt water. I was doing cannonballs, and now I have an ear infection. And by the way,
Bit of an ick, honestly.
yes, painful. By the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I could remember back to when I was 4 years old, I remember it being painful.
No, like you have no idea what I'm going through. Anyway.
Well, back to I feel like it really depends. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, it just depends where I'm at in life. I also feel like some of it's like,
Where you're at, or you're at? Who's buying
no,
the
I
ring?
mean like in general as a unit where we're at. Like if you're gonna take 75K and put it on a ring and we don't even have a house, like,
oh,
I feel like I'm like, yo,
100 million percent.
I feel like it's like a girl putting 10 G's on a Chanel and then being like on a credit card type of thing. Like it's like,
something I would do.
yeah. So I just feel like, I don't know. I ebb and flow. I think it's just more so about like, I feel like the more I go, the more I'm like, wow, I just want to be with someone that I love, and like whatever they choose for me like means a lot. And like,
But you're giving them what you want, right?
yeah, I definitely have guidelines. But like I just feel like at the end of the day, there's like that personal touch of like the person you love, like choosing something
Yeah,
for you.
no, I want
and,
no
like,
personal touch. I want zero personal touch.
anything you think I might like, scratch it.
Scratch it out. But you know what, though? I have to say, my boyfriend has really good taste. I don't know if that's like no, like
close your ears.
But you
You
know
sit
what?
back,
You know those videos that pop up on Instagram?
Yeah,
that's
pick
like,
which one.
Pick which one, and I go, babe, which? You know, like testing, and
Yeah.
he goes 4 and 9. I go, okay.
You're like, one with 4, but take 9 too.
I go, but what about 1? Like, how
Like,
did
hello?
you forget 1? It was the same radiant cut.
Well,
Like,
every time I see those videos, first of all, I go, well, which one would my girlfriend choose? Which one would I don't even know which one I would choose. Like, it's always a trick question. I'm like, which one? But I'm like,
what's-
you tell me, because I don't even know.
what
Like
I'm
a
seeing
simple
a lot
band.
of people do gold bands this year.
It's in.
It's
Feel
no
like
longer like
everybody
I'm no
does
longer
gold.
cool to get a gold band anymore. Now I got to go back to silver just to be a ridge.
Just be different.
Like, I gotta go.
Okay, what do you think about? I was actually thinking of this. I actually love a yellow diamond. Have you seen a yellow diamond ring?
Yes, I feel like it's very Sex in the City of you.
Oh,
I don't
she
even
has
know.
a yellow diamond.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But you showed me rose gold, and I was like, say less. A rose gold ring, but that you know that they don't make it in lab. It is how much?
Oh yeah, like $2 million.
I would love that.
for 1 carat. So I hope you're marrying Jeff Bezos, but off the market.
We're gonna talk about that actually. It's on my list.
Actually, can we talk about that? Did you hear that Kylie was getting like backlash for wearing a silver dress to the wedding?
Yeah. Shut up.
No one's confusing her for the bride. She's in a corsage.
Do you think I'm confused that she's wearing a dress? I'm confused why half the members that are at that wedding are there. I didn't even know they were friends. That's what I'm like confused about. I'm not confused about why she's wearing a silver dress. Sydney Sweeney, like,
I didn't even see the guest list.
Veronica, I'm confused. Also, everyone's bashing him for like marrying her, and I actually think like you cannot win because like if he would have went and broken up with his, I think he was married to someone else before. He was.
Yeah, he was.
Anyway, do you know her name? No. Anyways, he was married
I don't even know
before,
the
and now
girl's
he got remarried to Lauren, who's 54 years old, and everyone's like, ew, what did she do to her face? And it's like, if you would have went and choose a 25-year-old, it would have been like, and there's another billionaire just going. It's like, so he actually doesn't go fully off of look. I'm not saying he's not attracted to her, but I'm saying he goes for an older woman, and then she still gets backlash.
Yeah.
And people are still attacking her look. So you literally could never win.
People are not happy no matter what.
But
is it Jeff Bezos? I think
the owner of Amazon, yes.
No, yeah. I think it's yeah. I actually have like.
Have you used that site before?
yeah. I've seen that Amazon. Yeah, Amazon does. Yeah. I don't know if you heard about this, and I don't know what you think about this. I had a debate actually with my friends about this, but I think it's Jeff Bezos, and it's also Dave Portnoy, by the way.
Love him.
Okay, well, I don't know. You want to love him, Dave, Porty. So I'm pretty sure it's Jeff Bezos that still like gave his wife some sort of, I can't remember what it was.
Gave her a lot of money.
Gave her like huge shares of the company, and it's also Dave Portnoy who said he still has a joint account with his first girlfriend, or was it his ex-wife?
He's still married legally
to his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And they still have a joint bank account because for him, he was like...
And when he had nothing, she was by his side. And I honestly, that just shows the kind of man you really are.
Absolutely. And what do you, like, at the end of the day, I think when you're getting married to someone, obviously not all marriages, like, I think you obviously get married hoping you're not going to get divorced. But I think if you truly have a good relationship, even if you part ways, you can still honor and respect that person. And not every divorce or breakup ends in a bad way. And I'm like, it actually shows strength. Like, you still have this, you trust her enough knowing that she's using this money for good, and like it's kind of that repayment for like, I know you were there for me when I had nothing, I know you supported me, like showing the value in just having a really good person in your life and how that like propels you forward. Like I feel like there's like a lot of this talk of like, you know, like women, when you stay at home, like what's your value, whatever.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
think
that like brings our power back a little bit.
Yeah, just like showing that there truly is a value to having, and man or woman, to having someone really good in your life by your side, and how like sometimes if it wasn't for that person, you wouldn't be where you are.
Yeah.
But that being said, what would you do if your boyfriend still had a joint bank account with his ex?
Well, it's not happening.
But let's just say your man has a joint bank account with his ex, and you have to see.
I mean, I guess it would just depend.
And she has a new Chanel, and you're like, what card do you
But
use
I
for
think
that?
the thing is the people who actually do that and give their wives, ex-wives bank account, they're normally not the girls who want Chanel bags. It's almost like that like hidden rule where it's like, I know that you've never been that girl.
Yeah.
So you're going to have access. Yes, buy whatever you want. But like,
you're not
they're not
be
worried
reasonable.
and concerned, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but what
with
would
me,
you do?
you'd probably worried and concerned.
With me, the joint bank account would be. But what would you do if your boyfriend had a joint bank account with his ex-girlfriend? Still now. And he's just like, oh, like, it's just, you know, like, she really helped me out through my come up. And
I don't know. Like,
it
it depends if they have kids or not together. But if they have no kids, like, just give her one flat rate and let's, like, call it a day. Why are we lingering around? Like, be with her if you want to be with her. You know what I mean? That's my thought. Give her a nice sum of money and call it a day.
I think that's fair if they have kids. If, like, they had kids together, it's
But
one
if they
thing.
don't, it's still beautiful to see someone, like, being taken care of.
Yeah.
But, like, when it's done, it's done. I don't know. You?
I mean... I know what you mean. I think it really has to depend on the relationship and like what the money is used for. And like you said, if they had kids, obviously it's one thing. But like if it was just, I think there's an expiration date to it where like at some point it's like fly off and spread your wings.
Yeah,
sweetheart.
like I don't think like the normal person is dealing with that.
Yeah, no. But also, actually, funny enough, I saw this TikTok that was like, how old are you and does your dad still pay for your phone bill? And I was just thinking about this and I'm like...
Wait, does your dad still pay your phone bill? It's true, you're in some fucking group shared... There's always
Yeah,
issues. Like, pay your own bill at this point.
I love the company line. You know, we all just get grouped in there.
Really,
I'm like,
do you? Because then you're sharing internet and then there's problems every month that I hear about. So.
That's true. But I'm like, at what age do I say to my husband, hey...
Well, you're just going to pass it on to them.
How do we transfer this over? Actually, I said something that was really cute, and my boyfriend answered something really cute, and I was like, wow, I love you. I made a joke. I was like,
So you
wow.
love him.
Yeah. I was like, I've never seen.
But are you in love? You're like, yes.
Yes, also.
I have the ring folder I told you. Okay.
I was like, I've never seen a hydro bill in my life. And he's like, yeah, that's good. He's like, we'll keep it that way. And I was like, it's the hottest thing you've ever said to me in my life.
It doesn't take you much.
Wow, sweet words,
You're
man.
getting that joint bank account. No stress. You are getting it with your eyes. But wait, I wrote something down about Lauren, their wedding. Oh, did you see the invite? Like it said, bring no gifts.
Oh, bring no gifts. Yeah, we're making a donation in your favor.
Yeah.
Also, I saw the invite. It looked like my little cousin did it on Word.
Your little cousin, when you started in graphic design, that was the first thing you made.
Was their invite?
But for like a gender reveal party or
Yeah.
like baby shower.
I was like,
how can you be like Dolce Gabbana up at a wedding and then have like...
I mean, you know what it is? I feel like everything is like a cycle in life. And I feel like there's this thing where, remember when like people used to go to Coachella and they dress up and it was all about the outfits, and now all the cool girls go in like a white t-shirt and jeans because it's almost like
Veronica,
cool
it
to
wasn't
be
giving
basic.
minimalist. It was giving Crayola.
No, but I'm saying like I feel like there's this thing of like when you have money to do anything, I feel like there's almost this like style of being so badly done. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like you could go over the top, but you just make it like the carpets at the wedding. Like there was just so many things that I was like, I just feel
Carpets
like,
at the wedding. I didn't see that.
you didn't see that? They had like
No.
great carpets all over the... Anyway.
No. But you know what I think also is interesting? She was married to like a guy who had 400 mil before, like worth a lot. She went from him to Jeff Bezos. And I think that must mean there's something about her, like her energy, her character, like... Because the thing is like, we can say that anyone could go after that, but like, if you really think about it, she has something that like these men want, you
Yeah.
know? And
Well,
I'm curious. I'm curious to know like what you think it is. Like, do you think it's like that she's smart? Do you think it's that like she's very like positive and just like, you know what I mean? Because there's something about her. I feel like it's like,
I think being a good partner is so valuable, and I feel like a lot of the times it's discredited when like a girl goes for a guy with a lot of money. Like when guys are successful, a lot of, I'm not gonna say every time, but a lot of times they're super smart and they can get, if they just want a girl and they just want girls around, they could get that. If they have money, they could get that. So if they're gonna like commit to a woman in their life, it's because they add more value than just being pretty, than just being like...
I don't think it's
cool
always
to have
like
around.
that.
I don't think it's
though.
always like that, but I do think like...
The very smart, successful men, I
are
think,
looking
value
for,
that.
Yeah, looking for like a real partnership, looking for something that's more than just like having a girl around. Because if you have money, you could
Yeah.
have girls around. There's no reason for you to commit even to a marriage, especially
No.
someone like Jeff Bezos.
100%.
She for sure adds some, like she definitely adds value, and it's true what you're saying. I mean,
Because they met at a party when she was married and he was like completely drawn to her. And it's like, if you're already dating a very wealthy man and you go from him to him, there's clearly something that these men are both seeing in you. And it's beyond past looks. So I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm just saying like there's something else.
You know what I think?
Because I think the hottest girls could still not get the richest guys.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like I think at the end of the day, this is going to be so crazy that I don't think it has anything to do with looks. Look, take care of yourself, work out, like, you know what I mean? But I don't really think it has to do with looks. I think it has to do with you accepting the love you think you deserve. Like, if you think you're deserving of a millionaire, billionaire, you will get that. If you're not going to get her whether you're the hottest girl.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually has anything to do with looks.
I think looks
You're
can
like,
sometimes,
relax.
yeah, I think looks can sometimes get you in the right rooms, but I think there's this saying that's like looks will get you in the room, but your brain is what's going to keep you there.
Yeah.
Or like what are you going to say when you're in that room is like what's really important, and I think that's true. I think one of the most valuable things that guys look for, especially when they're like really career driven or like successful, and I think it's like underrated kind of,
And
but
I think it's
like,
what we have.
I think it's just somebody who has vision. And I think like when you're really like career driven, motivated, creative or whatever, I think some people lack vision and lack the ability to see other people's vision. Like they can see their own vision for their life, but they can't really like talk to someone and see their vision. And I think that's so important, especially when you're in a relationship where like somebody is like, you know, has a big business or like is constantly like moving at fast pace. They need a partner that can not only bounce ideas off them, but create that like safe space to like have that vision and see what they see and believe in them to that point. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes so much sense. I was having this conversation with my boyfriend actually, and he was like, he said something and then he was like, well, why do you think I like you? Like, you're not simple. And I was like, oh, I love that. Because I feel like for so long, my mom was always like, you know, you're a little bit complicated. You're a little bit this. And like, truly, like, don't change who you are. Like, a person is going to want that. And I remember when I first went on my second date with, I was about to say his name, with my boyfriend. Okay, relax. Nobody cares.
What is this? Fucking.
But I remember calling you and being like, I don't think this is going to work. It's true. I spoke with you, right? I'm like, I don't know. And you're like, why are you tripping? Like, you really like him. I'm like, I just feel like I might be a little too much, a little too spicy. He seems like really normal and simple of a guy. And you're like, okay, so just because he's simple doesn't mean he wants simple. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I could ruin his life.
I remember this conversation now.
And I was having like heart palpitations. Remember? I was like, I don't know. I was thinking so into it.
But I remember I had said, or I was just like, I feel like a lot of the times people who are simple are drawn to people that'll add something more to their life, or people that are eccentric. Like, I feel like opposites definitely attract. And I don't think that because you're like a lot that you necessarily want someone who's a lot. Like, I think there needs to be a balance. And I think sometimes when, like, obviously we're big characters, so we feel like we can maybe overpower someone, or people might be overwhelmed by us. But I also think there's a lot of people who genuinely like that and like want that energy and want to be around someone who's that way, because it brings it out in them. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a bad thing at all. And I agree with what you're saying. Like, you should never change who you are as a person. You should never like feel like you're too much. At the end of the day, there's going to be people that are going to make you feel that way, but it's just because maybe you're just too much for them. But there's a lot of people that are like,
but don't you think it's so crazy how like the simple person is going to be like, I know you're not too much. And it's like, what? I thought it would be somebody who had like the character of similar to me that would be like, okay, I get her.
I get you. But somebody doesn't need to get you to appreciate the things about you. You know what I mean? They don't need to be like you to understand you. I think that's the beauty in relationships.
True, but even to go back to what you were saying about, you know, what were you saying about Lauren having like passion or something?
Oh, vision?
Vision. You know, like sometimes my boyfriend will be really down with work and I'll be like, no, you got this. Like, you literally came this far. Like, you're going to get it. He's like, wow. Like, thanks, babe. I'm like, well, no, like this happened because of that. Like, I've already manifested it. Like, it's going to, and he's like, wow, babe, like, thanks. Like, I needed that, you know? And I think that's the most important thing, that when a guy is like working towards something, he just wants to know that you almost believe in his vision more than he does. And like, that's the vibe. Sometimes he'll be down and I'm like, I don't know why you're down. You're going to get it. Like, and he's like, yeah, I'm just, you know, freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you're calling me to be like, oh, shit, it's not going to happen.
I think that's really, like, underrated. I think sometimes you can be as confident as you are in yourself. If you don't have someone in your corner that believes in you just as much, if not more than you do, like, it's really tough, because in like hard days like that, you need someone you can lean on that'll be like, no, you got this. And I feel like you're actually really good at that. Well, you have like a specific way of doing it that's like really like confidence boosting. Like, you're very like, no, like, I know this already for you. Like, I already see it. Like,
I'm very convincing.
Like that makes you be like, oh my God, like I'm gonna get it, you know? And like sometimes it comes true and sometimes it doesn't. But regardless, that feeling of like, you talk with certainty, which makes someone feel like it is certain. Right? So you'll be like, no, I already know this is going to happen for you. And it gives like that person that little confidence, was like, oh my God, okay, it is going to happen. Like, I can like let go of this stress. And I think that's so valuable. And you're really good at doing that. I'm more like, maybe, like, you know, like I can't trust my vision, but you're really confident in your own vision. And I think that's really good.
No, I think I'm confident in it. And it's not like I'm like doing it to gas him up. Like, I actually genuinely like believe it. It's not like I'm like, oh, like maybe there's that 1%. Like, obviously in the back of your head, you're like, it could fail. But regardless of the failure, it'll just guide you to the next step. So like, I don't know. I think that's been, besides long distance, because that's hard.
How's that been?
Long distance is very hard. It's like every day I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. It's like, hey, how are you? What are you doing today? It's so like draining. And like, if we were together, we would just be together and not have to like Do you get what I'm saying? It's like,
100%.
I'm like, is our relationship dying or is it just because we're long distance? It's because we're long distance.
Yeah.
But it just feels like it's like, I get what the hard thing about long distance. It's hard to keep a spark when there's like, not the spark, but like it's
I
hard.
understand that the excitement when it's like you're always over the phone, and also he's super busy too. Like he's
Yeah.
working, you know, like very like into work right now. So it's like you even have less time of like the little time that you have. And I think also, I mean, we were speaking about this like because your relationship started off like so not long distance,
know.
like so like living together and so on. Like it's hard to go from that to long distance. Whereas like if you had a relationship that had more space,
Yeah.
not that it'd be easier, but it would be less like drastic of like having to spend days. Like you guys didn't spend days apart,
No,
right?
we
So it's like
didn't.
that's really tough. It's really a challenge being long distance. And
But I had a, like Huda would say on Love Island, she had a crash out. I had a crash out, okay? Like 3 weeks ago. I don't know. I didn't know I was going to talk about this, but let's talk about it. I had a crash out, like Huda, literally. It was his birthday, and he was going out. And, like, you know when, like, you started off being together all the time, so you never had to instill any kind of boundary. It was never like, this upsets me, or, like, you're free to do what you want, obviously, but, like, this or this.
Let me know, or
Let
whatever,
me know,
yeah.
or, like, let's just, like, whatever, you know? So I had a crash out like 3 weeks ago because he was going out for his birthday, and I'm just like, fuck. Like I have two friends in Miami. They're all going to the same place. I have my best friend who's there going to the same location he's going to. Everyone's going out. It's his birthday. I'm not there. I had a huge like skin flare, and I literally had a crash out.
Yeah.
I was literally like, and that was a point where I was like, Alessia, he should not know about your crash out. Like, literally deal with your crash out alone. Like,
Yeah.
don't start bringing it on his energy on his birthday, his 30th birthday.
Yeah.
And so I like just was like, I'm really sad. Like I made it about me. I was like, I'm really sad. Like I'm just like annoyed. And then he was like, well, you're making me feel shit on my birthday. I was like, well, no, that's not what I'm trying to do. But like, I'm just like annoyed. You're like going to the same fucking place, like all my friends. And like, I wish I was there.
Yeah.
This whole time in Miami, I had no friends there. And now all of a sudden everyone's there but me. And it's your 30th birthday. It was just like, crash out.
Yeah.
You know? And then after that, I was like, sometimes you just, before having the crash out, just have a little pep talk with yourself and just like convince yourself out of it. Cause
Yeah.
like, it's too late once you go into the crash.
It's tough. It's tough, especially when you're feeling a type of way and you
I'm like, I miss you. And it's like, he's like, it's not my, like,
yeah.
like I miss
could
you
I do
too.
for it?
And then
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm annoyed. And he's like, well, I can't do anything about like, and it's like, you know,
I feel like a lot of fights in relationships are like that. It's like you feel a type of way and you feel like you need to like tell it to your partner and like put it on them, but most of the time like they can't really fix that. Like it's
No,
like
they
unless it's
can't.
an issue you can truly fix and be like, okay, like whatever, like we'll do this in order to fix it. But like when it's something like that, it's like, what do you want me to do?
But yeah, back to engagement rings. I just want my engagement ring to scare other men away. Like, oh, I can't afford her. Perfect.
Scare other men. Are we gonna talk about how engagement rings actually
Bring on men.
Well, you know what? I will say wedding bands for men bring on other women.
Oh yeah, my man's not getting a wig. A wig.
A wing. A wing.
Wing.
Wing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that's the absolute woman. Like, what's the opposite of
Oh,
repellence?
let me
Like,
see if I can get him.
Oh, he's married, hotter. Somebody wanted to commit him for life.
Come
Fergie. I just feel like there's some girls out there. Listen, I'm not saying all girls are like this for sure, but there's definitely some that see that ring and they go, somebody really wanted
It's
you.
normally people with daddy issues.
Yeah, or like
Yeah,
like
I mean, you don't need to box them in.
Yeah, I don't need to box them in. I think it's just so.
No, but honestly, from like being younger to now, like now, it's so crazy. I don't know if you're like this too, but like players disgust me, or like any kind of guy who like is just not like commitment focused, or is like a player, or like anything I was like toxic, anything that I was like interested in when I was young. Veronica, I couldn't steer more the other way. Like I find it so hot when I see a guy who's like into his girlfriend or so into his wife. I'm like, oh,
100%.
like sees the value in a woman. Like
I just think, you know what's the biggest turnoff for me? And this is, I mean,
I want to talk about bachelor parties after. Just remind me.
more than happy to talk about those.
Because my boyfriend has like 3 of his best friends probably giving speeches at 3 of those weddings. All next year, by the way. all next year. So 3 weddings, which is fun because one's gonna be in New York, one's gonna probably be overseas somewhere. It's gonna be like
Where's
fun
the bachelor
weddings.
party's gonna be?
They better not be in Colombia. That's all I'm gonna say.
We were talking about bachelor parties, and Alem was like, and I couldn't agree more. Alem was like, honestly, just drug me, put me to bed, and wake me up when he's back. And I was like, I could not agree more. I don't want to be present.
What's that sleeping pill you just take?
Just
Ativan?
somebody like put
Just
me in those
give me
tanks.
those
like freezing tanks, and just put me to bed.
Just
put me to
give
bed for a week.
an Ativan, knock me out for 3 days, let the bachelor party be over, and then I'll wake up.
Yeah, and I don't want to ever hear about it again.
No, and then
there's just so much anxiety.
Yeah,
and
I know people are gonna listen and be like, "Oh, you don't trust your man." No,
not about that.
It's not about that.
It's just, you know what I never understood? First of all, I think bachelor parties were a thing before bachelorettes were a thing. Like, I think bachelorettes only came, like, later.
Wait, really?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like, sexism was way more prominent, and, like, guys had a lot more freedom back in the day. So I can't imagine girls being like, last night of freedom. Like, babe, you never had freedom in your life. Babe, you can't even apply for a credit card. Like,
right.
So I feel like bachelorettes are a newer thing, whereas, like, bachelorettes, I don't know. I feel like guys have this thing where they're like, yeah, but bachelorettes are just as bad. And I'm like, I swear they're not. Like, every time I've seen girls on a bachelorette, they're always like, boo, girls day.
Even if they go to the strip club, it's what, to see these magic Mike men, just like...
No, girls know, like, male strippers are not. I'd rather go to a girl strip club than
literally.
a guy strip club. What the fuck am I going to go
literally.
watching a guy do this?
No.
I'm like, ick, honestly.
Yeah.
But, like... I just feel like this thing of like, and I feel like a lot of times with bachelor parties, it's more the friends. Like, you have this pressure to like, your friends want the bachelor party. They want the strippers. They
A guy did a reel where he's like, listen, if you're inviting me to your bachelor, we're going to the strip club, we're getting wasted, and it's that kind of bachelor, or don't invite me to your bachelor party. Because I feel like maybe women have this effect on their man where they're like, you're not doing that kind of parties.
You're going golfing.
So they're doing like weird, you know, I mean, not weird. I would love.
I would love. Wine tasting?
Go.
Babe, go.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
You're going skiing, but somehow I don't trust skiing. Somehow you end up in Aspen, and I don't know.
There's not. It's just. It's crazy that this is still a thing, but it's literally a
Wait, do you think that all men just want women, even at their bachelor parties, they need to have women around them?
I think maybe not the groom, but I think like the guys.
Oh, you're so naive, sweetheart. Maybe not the groom.
No, but I think that
they
guys
all do, Veronica. They all do.
Listen, I believe.
I'm not saying they want to cheat, all of them.
No, but I mean, I don't think that guys love going out just the guys. I think like guys like to have girls around. I think girls can more likely go out just girls, but guys, they don't want to be a group of 10 guys, but. I feel like a lot of the time bachelor parties are, like I said, more influenced by the friends. Like, friends wanting a certain thing, especially the single guys, but, like, also, like, they just want this, like, classic bachelor party. The strippers, the crazy
Does your
night,
boyfriend have any bachelors coming up? Okay, so it's not just me. Monica, I have 3. Fuck off with your 1. Is it 1 or...
It's 1 so far.
It's 1, but with a bag.
Yeah.
It's 1 and they're thinking Colombia.
Oh, man. I said, babe, it's embarrassing for me, you know? Like, it's bad.
Oh
like,
my God.
There's certain things that, you know, like, for, like, a girl's trip to Miami, like, it's seen as, like, bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's, like, something that, like, a girl's trip going to Miami, all the guys are like, you know what she's doing that, bro? Like, they hype them up. I feel like that's a Colombia trip for guys. That's, like, the equivalent to that. Because, like, all the girls are like, well, you know what happens in Colombia. You know what they're out there doing. And I'm like...
And it's like, good luck trying to figure out if your man banged a Colombian because they're $40 an hour and...
the hottest girl
you're ever going to see. And let me tell you, well, you're going to go backtrack if they follow... They're not following them back on Instagram, so you're not even going to have a trace there.
Well, I already said, babe, you're going to call the girl. It's going to be me who shows up in a wig. Hey. You know what I realized? Relationships take a lot of self-control, and I think once you start doing something, it becomes a habit, and breaking a habit is way harder than not starting a habit. So for me,
fucking
like,
true,
there's a lot
Veronica.
of things that I'm like, okay, I could, but I won't for my own, like, mental, like for my own self, because I know that I'm gonna see something one day that I'm not gonna want to see, or something like going through the following, like looking at certain things. Like, sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I'd rather not know because I trust you, and I'm just gonna get in my head for no reason. And then once you check that following once, then you have to go back and check and just, the periodical
Yeah.
updates. And then when you see something you don't like, then those updates, they become quicker. They become more frequent. Went from once a week to 3 times a week. And it becomes this like, I remember once I was talking to this guy and I, for some reason, started looking at his Snap score. And then I had like his Snap score memorized. And then it's just a lot of mental weight, a lot of baggage to carry. Like, why did his Snap score go up?
You really
He didn't
are-
answer my Snap, but his Snap score went up. Like, he didn't answer. He left my Snap.
Excuse me? Are you?
I was like 16.
Are
But,
you
like,
representing Snap today with your
Yeah.
fucking outfit?
hello, I am Snapchat.
Do you want to tell them to follow you on Snapchat?
Yes, I'm following on Snapchat. My God, it's like the mom. Okay, go say hi to Zia. Go.
That's how I felt today. Go
Guys,
say hi to everybody.
Guys, I'm on Snapchat if you want to follow me. My username wasn't available, so there's an extra I at the end. Rossi.
Okay, have you been following the prison, the guys who escaped prison?
No.
You didn't
Sounds
know?
really interesting, though.
I don't know what's going on in the U.S., but like, I don't know if it was, now I'm going to butcher everything. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was 7, 8, or 11 people who like escaped prison, okay? In the
We'll go with
States.
7.
One guy had like on his time, like maybe 2 months left. Idiot. Okay, anyways. But we've all watched Prison Break. We all know Michael Scofield was the hottest thing. Then we found out he was gay. That was a whole like heartbroken. Anyways,
Yeah.
but basically they all escaped because they like there was, I guess, a security that they threatened in prison, and they said like, if you don't let us out, like, because I can't imagine you're working in a prison, like they can like threaten your life, kill your family, So this guy got scared and like let them out secretly, and now like he's facing time when it's like, I don't think he deserves the time. It's such a tough thing because like, it's just scary, right? Like, yeah, they're threatening to kill, and most of these people have connections to do all that.
of course.
So it's kind of like, it's scary.
I think, though, it is tough. It is tough. I don't know if he deserves it. At the end of the day, like, sometimes you do things out of fear and you're like, but I think there's
know.
probably reasons why, like, why did they have such a close relationship? Like, maybe he was kind of, like, already,
for
like,
sure.
twisting the rules. I actually saw
fucked.
this prison in Venezuela, I think.
Okay.
It's actually insane. I watched a documentary on it. It's like actually fucking scary. They're like all these people like will never get out for the rest of their lives, and all the prison guards like wear masks so that they can't see their faces because or else like kind of that's gonna happen. Like prisoners inside can like threaten their family and
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
they
know
all
why they
cover
don't
their
all do
faces.
that. But anyway, so I think it was 7, 8, or 11 people, or
7, 8, or 11,
Somebody,
or
somebody,
26.
somebody listening to this is gonna be like, actually, it was like 5. But anyways, no, but it was a lot. One guy gets out and goes straight to his house to put on like his like he's like, like right before he got in. Remember those pants that were in with the sharks on the dick? Tell me you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Whatever.
Anyway, so basically he went straight there to like change his outfit. I don't know where he thought he was going, but like Michael Scofield would be so fucking
Disappointed.
So like
Man,
it was
we
like
all know
every
you
day.
don't go to your house the first time you break out of prison.
But like every day they were finding, 1, 2,
Yeah.
and then some of them like, have killed, murder, like, so it is scary that they're on the fucking loose, but, and also you're probably gonna kill to just get by, right? So you need to steal someone's car, like it's
Yeah.
dangerous that they're like out and
Yeah.
about. But one guy just went back to his house to just change quickly. And then another guy went on some live. He went on some kind of live and he's like, yo, what's up? They just like showed up, the cops. I just handcuffed them. I think you get so dumb when you've been like,
You're just
I
freedom.
don't
You're like,
know.
"Ooh,
Like,
what
you
do we
just
do
like
now?"
don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But to have 2 months left and to go right back, at that point you want to stay in prison. You don't know anything other than prison.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
2 months left and doing that?
But I'm surprised you don't know about it.
No.
Anyway, yeah, so bachelor parties. What else do I have on the list
I
here?
always used to say I wanted a joint bachelor bachelorette, but like
Oh my God, yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Did you change your mind on that?
no, I still would like it, but like I have really good ways of selling it. Like I'm like, babe, like
We'll still
be
have
millionaires.
days.
We're gonna get all our friends on a jet, rent a house in St. Martin. Like, doesn't that sound amazing? Turks and Caicos. He's like, yeah, babe, what jet? Like, well, if we're working on that, we're getting there, babe. But doesn't it sound amazing if we all go joint bachelor bachelorette? No,
You think
sign
that,
here.
You think that like everyone's like, oh, whip, like she can't be away because like his girl
For
doesn't
sure.
trust him. For sure, like I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. They for sure think that.
They for sure
Definitely.
But you know what though? I think I just want to be with my girls. You know what? I just need the Bachelorette and Bachelor to be on the same week. What is this different weeks? Like I don't need to like take
I say
Ativan
that
and knock
until-
out for 3 days.
Yeah, but
No.
I say that until I'm out, and then I'm like, well, where's he?
Well, check
Is he
the
having more fun
location.
than me? It's very competitive. You know what I mean? You went to the strip club. Well, I'm gonna go to the strip club.
Oh, strip clubs.
Oh, I can't even think about this. It's tough. I feel for everybody going through this hard time of having to be with a man going on a bachelor party. Is there like a support group that I can be a part of?
Yeah,
I need help.
It's called drugs.
Trust.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs
Go
to bed.
Go to bed. But like, I actually don't know if it has to do with trust, because I could trust my man so much, and there's still something about it that makes me uncomfortable.
No, I trust
That
my man.
stresses
I trust
me
my
out.
man too. But here we go. I don't trust the friends. You know? No. I mean, most of the friends I met, yes. There's one that I go. I think about it in the back of my head. I go, is this guy gonna be at the Bachelor?
I feel like one is not enough to influence a group decision, though. So you're good.
I mean,
If the
don't think the
majority
other
starts
don't
being-
think the other guys don't want to jerk off. Like, relax, there.
Jerk off.
You get what I'm
They
saying?
circle jerk at the bachelor
At
party.
the end of the day, it's just like, oh, Tom wanted it, so we got it. Like, it just needs one.
Yeah,
You
there's only one.
just-
Yeah,
you
there's
just
only
need
one scapegoat. Okay, but babe, you know how Tom is. You know how he is. I didn't even know the escorts were coming.
Yeah.
Babe, it
I
was
didn't
to
even, babe,
cuddle.
I had nothing to do with my bachelor. They hired them.
Babe, the escort they called for me, I promise you I braided her hair all night.
Oh my God. But like, what's the conversation before the bachelor? Like,
cheat on
babe,
me?
you're allowed to have strippers, but you can't touch them. Like, it's like, shut up, bitch. You won't even know if they do that. This conversation, I'm ready for my Ativan.
Oh my, yeah, it's actually giving me anxiety. Oh my God, I'm going through a lot here. What is the...
What's the conversation,
What's
babe?
your like rules for like if your man goes to a strip club? Rules. Okay, what is this? The most protective
Like, for
girlfriend
his
podcast?
bachelor party? Like, he could-
No, just in general. You're like, don't go to the strip club.
I mean, personally, I love strip clubs, but I want to be there.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying alone. Like your man, he's not okay. Listen, first of all, I think if you're a regular strip club goer on your own time, like we have to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But like, look, he goes one night. The boys want to go. They end up at the strip club. Are you like, don't get a dance? Are you like, okay, you could get a dance? Doesn't bother me. Like,
Depends how confident I'm feeling that week. Do I have my period? Like, depends like the day of the month.
where am I?
I mean, it's like, yeah, you're going for drinks, okay, to drink, but like, why are you at the strip club? I don't
Look,
know.
I've been to a lot of strip clubs where I was like, yawn. Like, we're literally just here. Okay, cool. The strippers are around. Like, there's different strip club
Miami has hot
experiences.
strippers.
Yeah. But there's also times you go to the strip club and there's ass in your face, private room. And then there's other times where I'm just like, hey, like,
But I'm gonna be honest. I've been with my boyfriend like twice, and I find that twice that I went, like women really pull him. Like, and I'm not that girl who's trying to be like, babe, no one
loves my
wants your
man.
man. Like, no, but like, even when we had just first met, that same day we went to 11, and like we weren't even walking next to each other, and like women, I think still women at the end of the day, even if it's a job and they're trying to get money, they still will be like, that's eye candy, like that's a hot guy. Like they rather with a hot girl, a guy.
I think they rather the person with the biggest wallet.
No,
and I think
yes.
your boyfriend looks expensive. I feel like he gives off like classy, like expensive.
Okay, well, I don't know what it is, but like I noticed it twice. Like 2 girls were pulling him once. I swear to God, like, and I was like, yo.
Like, pause off, lady.
Yeah, and then another time, like literally, okay, I sound like this girl, but I swear to God, it's like I was sitting like here and he was there, and like every girl was making their rounds to like see if he wanted something, and it's like there was fucking 2 other guys. Like,
He probably looked like the one with the most money.
I don't know what it was, but I was
telling
like,
you.
I was all
They're,
chill because I was there, but then I was like, you're not allowed to come back. Like,
Don't ever think you're coming back here, babe. And I don't know, mess up your hair, wear a different top next time you go.
I don't know. Like, I feel like if a guy wants to go to the strip clubs without me, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. Also, like,
But
I
then
feel
they
like it's
do.
a bit of like if you love getting dances that much, like I feel like it's fun and
Like what, to get a
entertaining
boner?
for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like at some point, dances get a bit awkward. Like realistically, it's all fun and games to get in that room and you're like, hey, and you're like, you know what that shit.
Okay, but wait,
shake your ass
what
off
would
you.
be your boundary with your man going to the strip club?
I think it's like don't go for a private dance.
But a dance in public is fine.
Like a dance at the table, like whatever. Like there's obviously gonna be girls around. Like okay,
no, you
girl,
could be getting a dance,
like,
but where are
get-
your hands though?
Whoa, I think if you're fucking slapping ass,
that's what I'm
grabbing ass, it's one thing. But I just feel like, listen, you go to a strip club, you guys are having drinks, maybe you get a bottle, like there's girls around, tip them, they're dancing at the table. I feel like it's fun, cool vibe. But I think as soon as you're getting handheld, pulled to the back room, it's tough for me. Why do we have to go in private?
Well, it's not tough for me. It's not. It's
it's
a
not
no.
happening.
Like it's a no.
Yeah, it's just like, why do you have to go to the back? What the fuck are you doing?
Well, then I would assume you're doing something, right?
No, I wouldn't assume you're doing anything, but you're obviously getting a dance that is...
Wait, what do you mean? Isn't the back room where shit goes down?
No, you just get a private dance. Like a lot of girls
Yeah,
will,
but
like,
the private dances are like you're holding their titties, like, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff?
a little... It's definitely more contact. It's definitely more of a dance, but I'm not saying they're not getting a blowjob in the back. You know what I mean? Depends where you go. But, like, let's just say, realistically, I'm just like... Why do
Yeah.
you have to go to the back?
Has your boyfriend gotten massage with a happy ending? Because my boyfriend's like, yeah, my buddies and I, like, we used to go when we were younger, and I was like,
My buddies and I... Hey, guys, let's all go to the massage. I never understood this, like...
I understand.
No, I want to know, and this is maybe I'm just like a fucking idiot, but I genuinely believe that they get massages there. But like, I think it's just like.
Can I tell you something really funny? So I was like role playing with my boyfriend. I was like, well, I'll pretend to be the masseuse.
He's like, babe, did a massage.
So I did the whole thing, and he's like, actually, that's literally exactly how they do it. And I was like, ah! He's like, no, like literally, like. He's like, that's how they
What
like.
do they do?
No, like the way I was like, I guess role playing is I was
Yeah.
acting like, okay, like turn around now. Like you don't really ask, but like you go around
Yeah,
there.
but I don't
and then
think
like
it-
you like keep putting the like the towel a bit lower. Like
Listen, I thought it was that way, but I don't actually think it's that way. I think a lot of them are you go in, you pick your girl, they say, and then they say, pull out your cock.
no, like you give a whole massage, and that's just like the ending. That's
I
what
don't think so.
Well, that's my version.
Well, that's my.
And that's
if
what
I
he
would
said.
think, that would be my
They
version.
say, and I even did like turn please. Like I did everything. These chairs.
The chairs are making it even funnier.
I'm trying to remember what else I did.
The
but
role plays kill me when you
No.
get into it. When you lock into one.
I'm
it's
not
like-
gonna lie. I feel like
Take my
my
role seriously.
one time we were role playing and it was like it got really like I don't think this is like right. Does that ever happen to you? Where it's like I think if someone heard this, like we might be.
I've had times where we're both, you know, you never discussed beforehand. So you guys both start going in a different direction and you're trying to match what they want. But then they'll say things like, babe, I thought like I was your teacher. No, babe, you're my masseuse. You're like, okay, got it. Actually, I think the funniest thing is saying something like that you didn't mean to say during
the worst.
sex
It's the
is the
worst.
funniest thing.
And if you laugh, it's over.
It's over.
You're either
You
gonna
have
be
to
like,
go with it.
just ignore it, or like,
Someone was
turn please.
my boyfriend said to me the other day, he was saying something and he was like, you know, like cute, like you're like slut, whatever. But he was like, stupid slut. And I was like, stupid.
You're like slut, yes.
I was like, stupid.
You're like slut, yes.
And I had to
Stupid.
pull him aside. I said, whoa, stupid was
Ew,
a bit
shut
much.
up,
He
even
was
you.
like, I didn't mean it in the moment. I thought it was hilarious though, because you just keep going, you let it slide, but you're like,
Well, it's
That
like
was
if
like
we're
a
role
slide.
playing and then I suddenly am a little girl, like, and you're a teacher.
it's like, what age are you?
It's like starting to seem a little
Yeah.
like
What grade are we in?
no, I think once he was like, and don't tell your mommy or something, and it was like, okay, we're literally like I'm trying to remember what it was. I was like, after we finished, I was like
You're like, baby, relaxing.
I was like, Jesus.
Well, you know what's funny is when you bring up something that you're like, don't bring this up right now. Like, don't make me start thinking about these things. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
yeah.
leave other people out of this. Or when they have an imaginary girlfriend. I'm like, why are you cheating on me in the role play? Like, I know you're cheating on me, but babe, you're still cheating.
I'm fucking dead. I also think like the idea of like my man fucking someone else is hot, but then I don't.
Well, if the other person is me,
But then,
like you're only allowed to cheat
but
on me
then
with me.
Then I go, how would I feel afterwards? And then I think it's just something that's gonna stay in my imagination.
Stay in the imagination. Yep.
But do you know what I mean
No.
though?
No.
Really?
No. I actually think I would throw hands. Like, I think I would.
You don't think
I'm
that
cool
there's like
enough
a
to
part
do
of it? Like there is a part of it that I go, could be hot.
For sure, I accept and love this for you.
Okay.
I just don't.
I
think
just
for
don't
me.
think I would be able to go through with it.
I think
I don't know.
I could try. And
How
I
did we
know
get
in
here?
the moment I'd be like, get off my man. I would be like this. I'm
But
sorry,
like, what
babe.
if there's like rules? Like they're not allowed to make
Shut up.
Yeah, no. If you're gonna do it, there's no rules.
Shut up. Don't touch it. To below the leg. Like it's you can't. I don't think
Yeah.
you can go into one of those things with a list. It's tricky when you're in the moment. Things happen that are not always like you think you're cool with it, and then later that's my biggest fear. You think you're cool with doing something, and then later you're like, oh, I can never look at you the same. Now we have to break up because I
That's
can't get
the
over this.
thing. That's the
tough.
thing.
Honestly, I think like that's the hardest thing in relationships is like there's a very slippery slope between like thinking you're okay with something until it happens, and I'm not even just talking about like whatever
And
sexually.
then you're like insecure about it after, and it's too late.
It's like even like let's say going out to the club, like you think you're this coolest girlfriend until like you're in a situation that you've never been in before that you thought you would be cool with, but they do it and you're like, suddenly I realize I'm not that cool after all, and please come home. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of situations I've never been in. Like, for example, my man going to a bachelor party. Like, that's not something that I've ever experienced before. So I'm like,
know.
in the past, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, it's just a bachelor party. But when it's real, you're like,
It's
wait,
so
like,
true.
and in the like when it actually is happening, you're a little more like, whoa, like I never had to
Yeah.
live this before.
Yeah.
So it's never like I've never thought about it in that way.
So growing up, obviously now you're dating and it's different and it's probably more like for marriage than it was at the beginning. I mean, I think you went into everything thinking marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb girls. Dumb girls.
Stupid.
Stupid slut.
Stupid slut.
What are things that like now you realize that are not important anymore? You're like, the whole episode you didn't do this to me. Why now at the end?
That are not as important.
No, or like what are things that you thought you needed to compromise that you don't need to anymore? Or I don't know. I don't know what
If
my
I had
question
homework,
is.
you could have asked me. I would have prepared before. I kind of understand. I kind of get your question.
Well, I don't
know what you're.
I don't know what my question is.
I don't know if I understood what you were trying to say.
I don't know what I asked.
I think just things that are less important now that you're older that felt more important.
No, I don't think that was my
No,
question.
that's not it. Okay.
What is it that you look for now that you're older?
I think someone that I can feel safe with, like long term. I like safety, feeling like I don't have to worry if like we're gonna be together. Like someone that can really provide me with that like reassurance, and I've never had to guess. Like I think when you're younger, you're more like it's more exciting to have that like hot and cold relationship and stuff. But I think like when it's good, you're never guessing if it's real, if that makes sense. Like I feel like every relationship I've been in from the beginning, I knew that it was gonna end up being a relationship, and I was certain that they were into me. And I'm not impressed by that, like hot and cold. Like for me, someone who is from the beginning, like I'm all about you, I'm reassuring you, never making me like second guess myself is so important to me. And I think that's something that like carries on in life, because whether it's about confidence or whatever, like the longer you're in a relationship, obviously you grow a bond, but you get older and like things change and your relationship is not as honeymoon, it's not as perfect. And my relationship anxiety has a lot to do with the future versus the present. I get a lot of anxiety. I think it's a girl thing. I get a lot of anxiety about like when I'm older, like, are you still going to be attracted to me? Like after we had kids, like, are you still going to love me? Like after 10 years, are you still going to be like as in love with me as you are now? Like, I feel like women are we're very like hold on to our man and we stick with them. And I feel like I have more of a fear of like, you know, like, how will the relationship progress?
Oh my
Because
God,
I've
you
never
poor
been
thing.
there.
Just enjoy the moment.
I know, but I'm really
get
like,
it, though. I get
I
it.
stress about the future. I'm so
get
locked
it.
and reassured now, but I stress about the future. Like, I think it's because I've never been there. I've never been in a 10-year long relationship. I've never been in a marriage. I've never had those sort of like long-term commitments. That's what scares me. And so for me, the most important thing is just like having someone that like really never makes me second guess how important I am to them. And I think that's the number one most important thing is like, I need to
Yeah.
always know that like I'm number one and you're like with me and you're choosing me and I'm so important to you. And like, I never have to ask for that. And like, I know. you
Yeah.
know?
I think sometimes in relationships, like at the beginning, my boyfriend would reassure me a lot. And now it's almost to him, he thinks like, well, yeah, like I don't need to reassure
know.
her anymore. Like, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm like, babe, by the way, like reassure me. Like, don't be shy.
Yeah.
You know? And I,
think
think
it's
it's
about- it goes
fine
a
to
long
just
way.
ask for what you need.
Yeah.
And I think it's like we don't want to always ask for what we need because we're like, well, we expect the other person to just like
Yeah.
do it. But there's nothing wrong with just.
I think you definitely should ask. I think I'm the type of person, like, I'm very much, the way I show my love is not always verbally. And, like, I'm very much like, I'll get you something if I thought of you. And, like, for me, it means a lot. Like, if I did this thing for you, it's like, I'm really showing you I love you. And, like, for some people, they're like, oh, well, you didn't tell me you love me, or you didn't show me in this way, or you didn't make this effort. So I just feel like also learning that about someone, but also communicating, like, hey, I feel like I need more of you. Then it's like, okay, then I'll
Yeah.
do it. Because sometimes I'm not aware that I'm not doing it because I think I'm doing it in my own way. And maybe that's how someone else is too, you know? But I just think like that's really important. I think you should never beg for reassurance. I think like in a strong relationship, you
Shit,
can
am
be
I
like,
begging?
I think in a strong relationship, you should be able to be like, hey, like I'm feeling this way, like, and that person should be able to be like, okay, baby, like of course, like I love you,
Yeah.
like it's, you know. And I think that's worth a lot is being with someone that always makes you feel secure in the relationship.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because you could just kind of get through anything with that.
So I was actually talking to my friend today, and she's like, honestly, like I think I have to end this relationship because she's like, I feel like. She's like, it's just an ick. Like, he works, but like he wakes up late, and like she'll be like on her computer or laptop working, and like he'll like start the day after her. And like, I think for women to see like your man still sleeping when you're working and stuff, and like, I think it's like, it's so easy though to also say you want the guy who works all the time and like makes money, and you're like, I don't even care about you. Like, just
Yeah.
like work. And like, yes, like for me personally, I don't want the other option, but I also think it comes with its like downfalls
Perks.
too.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh my God, like I need attention now. And it's like, well, no, like he's busy.
Yeah, everything is a compromise.
Everything is a compromise. So it's like, I think like when my girlfriend was like, I just want someone who's like working all the time and is like, I'm like, but just so you know, that comes with its other territory. Sometimes I don't
100%.
feel loved when it's like, no, I'm loved. It's just
he's busy.
he's busy. But then if he were to be the guy who's like always messaging me and not working, I'd be like, I'm not interested in you.
100%.
So it's like,
I think it's a respect thing. Like, I think it's just like she feels like she's doing more, so she's like losing respect for him. But sometimes it's also about perspective. Like, I could be that way too a lot. And then if I spin the camera on me, like the amount of times that I've not done my best, that I've been in like
Yeah.
lazier times of my
No,
life.
for
And I'm like, yo,
sure.
it's so easy to be like, oh, like bothers me, ick, this. But like, I just like sometimes we could be a bit
harsh.
harsh
For sure.
for something that maybe is not telling of like who that person actually
No,
is. Like,
for
is their
sure.
work ethic bad? Are they generally a
I'm
lazy
just saying
person?
with both, it's push and pull. Like
Yeah.
you're never gonna get it all. So it's like, I was like trying to explain to her. I'm like, yeah, but you get the opposite. Like you're saying you want someone obsessed with you, and
Yeah.
like yes, it's not gonna be that dynamic
yeah.
of like someone's gonna be like all day like
Able to
answering to
text
your
you,
beck and call.
yeah.
And if that's what you want, then you better start not rolling your eyes at the guy who's waking up at 10 p.m.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think basically we're gonna close it off on everything is compromise. Do you miss podcasting with me? I miss podcasting with you.
I miss podcasting in general. You're like, wow, not me. It
Well, Veronica,
just comes so easily.
I know.
You know?
I
So
look
easy
back
to
at
be here.
episodes and I was like, fuck, we're funny. Like, I listened to old episodes. I was like making a few clips and I was like, oh my God. Like, life was so much easier back then.
Yeah, I also watch some episodes and I go, why the fuck did I say that on the internet?
And it's like,
And it's out there. Like, who's going to play that at my wedding? You. Scary, man. I saw some things. I literally sent a clip. I said, "There's no way we were talking about this online for anyone to see."
It's crazy because back then,
I
the
actually know
perfect
exactly
thing.
what it was. We're talking about blowjobs, and you're like, "You take the cock," and I was like,
I said that.
"Yeah!" I was like, "No way, we just said this. No way, can't be." Wasn't me.
Well, yeah, we have
I would
our
never talk that
do's
way.
and don'ts in the bedroom.
Oh, the episode with the most views too.
Oh, my boyfriend actually has some time for me. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the X Podcast, the Chemical X Podcast.
The Chemical X Podcast.
And I'll see you next week with Veronica again.
Bye, guys.
It was nice to have you back.
The ex you keep coming back to.